Hello, today we are going to talk about Cambridge IGCSE Physics 0625, first part, motion, forces and energy, 1.4, density, or and supplement. So under the 1.4 density core part, first one, define density as mass per unit volume. Recall and use the equation rho is equal MOV, where rho is density, M is mass, V is volume. Number two, describe how to determine the density of a liquid, of a regularly shaped solid, and of an irregularly shaped solid which sinks in a liquid volume by displacement, including appropriate calculations. Number three, determine whether an object floats based on density data. Supplement. Number four, determine whether one liquid will float on another liquid based on density data given that the liquids do not mix. So this is the part we are going to talk about today. Density. So density is defined as mass per unit volume. You can see density is equal mass over volume when we get the density as rho. So rho is equal m over v. The density rho is in kilograms per meter cubed. You can see kg slash m power of 3. The mass m is in kilograms, that means kg, and the volume v is in meters cubed, that means m power 3. To find the density of a liquid, we'll see the steps. Find the mass of the measuring cylinder by placing it on a balance, then fill it with the liquid and measure the new mass. The difference in masses is the mass of the liquid. The volume can be read from the cylinder and the density calculated using the equation. So we can see this question. The diagram shows an experiment to find the density of a liquid. What is the density of the liquid? We can see mass of empty measuring cylinder, which is 200 grams, and the mass of empty measuring cylinder plus mass of liquid, which is 250 grams. We can see volume of liquid, which is 25 cubic centimeter. So mass of the liquid is equal mass of empty measuring cylinder plus mass of liquid minus mass of empty measuring cylinder. So mass of the liquid is equal, which is mass of the empty measuring cylinder plus mass of liquid, which is 150 grams minus mass of empty measuring cylinder, which is 200 grams. So mass of the liquid, it is equal to 50 grams. So density of the liquid, we know it is mass of the liquid divided by volume of the liquid. So when we substitute values, mass of the liquid 50 grams, volume of the liquid 25 cubic centimeter, so which is 2 grams per cubic centimeter. So answer is B. To find the density of solid, we see the steps. Measure the mass of the solid by placing it on a balance. If the solid is regularly shaped, measure its dimensions using a ruler or other measuring tool, and then use a mathematical formula to find the volume. The solid is irregular shape, immerse it in water and measure the volume of the water displaced. This is the volume of the solid. Then find the density using the equation. Here we see this equation. A cube side of 2 centimeters is placed on a balance. What is the density of the cube? That is the question. So volume of the cube, we know it is equal to length into width into height. Because of a cube, all sides are equal. So we know length equal to width equal, and that is equal to height. All are same now. So volume of the cube, again, length into width into height. So volume of the cube, 2 centimeter into 2 centimeter into 2 centimeter, which is 8 cubic centimeter. So density of the cube, mass of the cube divided by volume of the cube. So we know the mass of the cube, the balance we can see in the display, 7.2 grams, that is divided by volume of the cube, 8 cubic centimeter. So which is 0.9 gram per cubic centimeter. So answer is A. This question, a student wishes to determine the density of an irregular shaped stone. First, he finds the mass of the stone. Next, he lowers the stone into a measuring cylinder containing water. The diagrams show the measuring cylinder before and after the stone is lowered into it. So you can see reading 1 before we put the stone and reading 2 after we put the stone. So we know volume of the stone, it is equal to reading 2 minus reading 1. So we know the density of this stone is mass of the stone divided by volume of the stone. So density of the stone, again, mass of the stone divided by reading 2 minus reading 1, which is the volume of the stone. So answer is D. The density of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. The density of an object is greater than this. It will sink in water. If less, it will float. That is how to identify whether some object sink or float in the given liquid. Here it is what.